Hey everyone, this is Debbie Henderson from Debbie's Designs. Welcome to my weekly tea time and a card. Get a little bit of a glare there on my screen. So as you can see, I'm showing you two cards that I made with you last week using the framed floret stamp set. I got these upside down. Framed florets dies. So you'll notice this is something new Stamping Up has started. The name of the stamp set and the name of the dies are now going to be identical, so it'll be easier for us to match things up. And I don't know if you remember the last couple of weeks I showed you these products and I had forgotten to show you this, or actually I forgot that I did not have this set, Framed and Festive. It's a part of the collection. Stamping Up had forgotten to send it to me when I ordered the whole collection. But look how pretty these Christmas sentiments. Look how pretty they look if you put them in an oval. I just love the font. Look at this one. And then of course you could do these ones in there also, and you can put them sideways. These are too big to put sideways, but the ones down here you could put sideways. But I haven't used this set yet because I just got it a couple days ago, but I wanted to show you what it looks like. So in the collection, you get the two stamp sets, the set of dies, you get the embellishments, and you also get the designer paper. Now this is the one side of the paper. You can see there's a lot of florals. And if I flip this over, here's the remainder. And you're going to see me use a lot of the patterns tonight. I'm making two cards with you. So let me get situated for my cards. Now these were the two cards that I did with you last week if you missed. I just want to make sure everybody's here. I can see everybody hopping on. I'm just kind of chatting while I'm waiting for everyone to find me. The first card I made last week was this one with 4 strips of designer paper, and I weaved them on the corner. So you have some that go in and out. And then this was my 3 card fold. This has 3 little cards. This one opens this way. This one opens in the opposite direction. And then you have one that opens at the end like this. So if you missed my video on Facebook or on YouTube, on Facebook you'll find under videos, under the videos tab, I always leave my videos there for you guys. I do have one more card that I did post on my blog. It's actually going to be my free card kit for the month of November, because this collection is available November 1st. This will be the free card kit. Anyone that places an order with me during the month of November, you'll get all the parts and pieces to create this card. Other than the stamped part of it, we're not allowed to give out stamped layers. And then just a reminder, this is my free card kit for the month of October. I've had quite a few orders come in. You'll get all of the free parts and pieces for this card as well. Okay, let's get started on card number 1. I'm going to bring in what I am using. I've got thick basic white. Now this I've cut off a part on the end, so it does not measure 11. It actually measures 9 3/4 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. So when you fold it, it's going to be shorter on the front. So let me go ahead and press that in place with my bone folder. Then we have a piece of Blushing Bride, 5 1/4 by 4. And I think, if I remember right, these two pieces, no, one's smaller than the other. Basic white, 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. Here's the designer paper, 4 by 4. Now I've gone ahead, I'm going to show you the card because I want to explain to you what I did with the ovals. You can see here that I have 2 colors. Let me put them on. Let me see. Blushing Bride. You can see that I have 2 colors. I've gone ahead, stamped, and cut the flowers. That's Blushing Bride ink on Blushing Bride cardstock. Here's the card. Oh, I forgot my ribbon. I've got it right here. So what I did when I cut this, you can see that I cut one in white, has 2 pieces. And then I also cut an oval with soft succulent 2 pieces. So I'm using the opposite colors, the leftovers from card number 1. So if you cut out this oval, you get 4 pieces because I'm using 2 colors, so you have enough to do 2 cards. So you can see that the blushing bride peeks out over on the side, and then you have the white piece in the center. So let's go ahead and get going on this card. So I'm going to go ahead and do the blushing bride to the inside. I'm going to do the inside first. I have a really neat card fold for the next one too, so make sure you stay tuned. Okay, there's that one. Now let's go over to the inside. So I did 2 sentiments: for a special person on a special day, wishes for a beautiful birthday. Ink colors I'm using is Evening Evergreen and Soft Succulent. I'm going to use the Evening Evergreen for the sentiment. I'm going to stamp that right on the centered and on the top. And then we're going to use this right here to do on the left hand side. We're going to leave just a little tiny bit of room for a signature or a small note. I know on the camera it probably looks, yeah, you know what, it is the same color. I didn't switch inks. Okay, I used Evening Evergreen. On my first card I used both greens. I was going to say that looks the same, and it is. I goofed. So we're going to glue that to the inside. Now when I glued that to the inside, I made sure that I glued all the way over to the left because I don't want this peeking out when I close it. So you need to go all the way to the left, leave about 1/4 of an inch, and then when you close, this covers that part of the paper. Now I'm going to close this up. We're going to add the designer paper to the front. This is such a quick and easy card to create. It's going to fit right here. Then I'm going to do my ribbon. Let's see, I need enough to make a bow at the top. Now, how I did my ribbon on this, I did it right up here, about 1 inch from the top. I did my knot. I'm going to go ahead and do a second knot. And that's just going to keep it in place. And now I can go ahead and do my bow. I'm finding it's a lot easier to do the 2 knots. So now we're going to go ahead and make a bow. I'm going to bring in my ribbon to make those a little smaller. And then I need my scissors. I still want to make that just a tad smaller. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and cut the tails. Make sure this is nice and straight. And now when I glued the frame in place, when you open this up, it's going to peek through on the outside a little bit. So make sure you don't add glue all the way around. I'm just going to go about up to the top. And again, a little bit over center. I'm going to stick this out about 1/2 inch. So now that's all glued in place. Let's see, we need, for a special person, let me see if I can do the ink colors right this time. For a special person on a special day, that's Evening Evergreen, Soft Succulent this time for the branch. So that one is tone on tone. And I did glue that part in place with dimensionals. And again, because we have a little opening right here, I'm going to do my dimensionals right on the designer paper. That way I won't accidentally put any of these too close to the edge. Whoops, that one's already off. Okay, we're going to add the oval in place. And then I have the 2 flowers, more dimensionals. So this card is a little bit on the clean and simple side of things, but it's so pretty, isn't it? Okay, we're going to tuck this one under. And then we're going to bring in some bling. So you can see, even though my ovals are different colors, it still looks great whichever way you go. But I cut 2 of each, so I was able to swap them and make 2 cards out of this. So a great way to use up the ovals. So there's card number 1 already. That was nice and quick. So let me get rid of the ink, and then I'm going to set up for card number 2. It's so nice to see you guys. Okay, here's card number 2. I got a lot of layers on this one. A lot of pretty designer paper. I went ahead and cut my shape already. That's from the Lasting Label Punch. And I'm using Night of Navy ink. And let me see, I need this stamp and this stamp. And I think I got everything. Okay, so let's go ahead. This is Night of Navy, 5.5 by 8.5. And I scored on both ends at 2 1/8. So we're actually making a gatefold card. It meets right in the middle. But it's going to be a little bit different of a gatefold card. This is Balmy Blue, Basic White, 5 1/4 by 4. And then we have 3 pieces of Basic White, and those measure 4 by 1 5/8. And then 3 different patterns of the designer paper. Wait, let me see which side I went on. Okay, I did this one, and this one. I'm going to show you the card in a minute. So 3 patterns, and these are 3 3/4 by 1 3/8. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the inside first, then I'll show you the card. I'm going to use this little flower stamp with the Night of Navy ink, and I want to make sure how I did this. Yep. Whoops. I just did one in the bottom left corner and one in the top right corner, and then you can either put another sentiment there at the top so you can leave room for a signature, but I'm going to leave mine blank for now. We're going to glue that to the inside. I don't normally do the inside of my cards till I'm ready to use them, but this is, I just wanted to show you how pretty this stamp was to put in the corners like that. Okay, now let's open up the card so you guys can see what it looks like. So we put the 3 strips on the front with the designer paper layered, and then of course the sentiment. But it opens this way. You've got 2 that are glued on the right and 1 that is glued on the left. It's like an interlocking gatefold card. So that's what I'm going to show you how I did. So let's go ahead and do the white pieces first. So I'm just going to add adhesive to the right side. I'm going to glue this 1/4 inch on the top and around the 2 sides. Hold on, it's not quite straight. I need to put it upside down so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, there's the first one. I'm going to do one more. This one's going to go on the bottom. Same thing. So there's my 2 flaps on the right. And then this one is going to go on the left. It's going to go right in the middle. Okay, so there's the mechanism. See how easy? And then what I did when I placed my designer paper, I used the busier part of the designer paper strips right in the middle, and then I put the less busy patterns on the top and the bottom. Just want to make sure I'm still on. I don't see you guys. It's weird. Sometimes I see comments and sometimes I don't. Okay, there you are. Okay, that's going to go right in the center along with this one. This one's going to go on the bottom. So another great way to use designer paper. There's the one in the middle. Now we're going to do the thank you with all my heart with Night of Navy ink. I just love the font of both of these stamp sets. I'm going to add dimensionals. And you guys, I have 2 more cards next week using this collection, because you guys can buy this next week, November 1st, if you are not a demonstrator. Okay, this is going to go right in the center. And then we're going to add some bling. Gotta have the bling. And there we go. There's card number 2. I'm going to bring both cards in, and then I want to show you another card that I made tonight. We had our last demonstrator class. We had classes the whole month of October. We had demonstrator classes online every Wednesday. So next week, just a reminder, I will be back at 7 p.m. Eastern time instead of 8. This was just for the month of December. I'm not wishing winter, really. Month of October. Okay, I'm going to show you, in case some of you guys missed it, week 1. And this is all using the Splendid Thoughts stamp set. We use the stamp set all month with the Splendid Stems dies, which I love. So this was week number 1. We did a whitewash on the background, so some of you guys have seen these already. Week number 2 was using the soft pastels assortment. We did some Versamark inking, stamping, did some color. I'm going to show you guys how to do this. This will be one of my next classes. I'll show you. The third one was using the gilded leafing as a background. Look how pretty that is. And the one we did tonight was really interesting because you know how I have monthly creative challenges on our Facebook page? And I had asked for a 1-layer card. This is it. If you guys have not participated in the challenge, you have 1 more week. And here is a great idea for you to try. This is what we did tonight. So we used the masking paper to mask off 1 strip at a time, added 2 ink colors with a blending brush. We carried 1 color over to the next strip and added, so there's 3 colors here. Some people use greens, some people use pinks. I use the purples. But look how, this is a 1-layer card, just 1 layer, and look at all the ink on there. So these are the 4 cards that we made during our demonstrator events each month. And I really, really like this technique. So if you like this, let me know and I can show you how to do that also. Maybe I could actually do a class using both of these. Let me know if you'd be interested in that and I can show you how to do both. And don't forget, anybody that comments on Facebook, I will pick a name to win one of each of these cards that I made tonight. That's it, guys. I'm all done. So I will see you again next week with 2 more cards using this collection. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for joining me. Good night.